Hey there, AfterBuzzers. You're tuned into The Good Place. We've missed you guys. It's been like a month. So today we're gonna, I don't know why this is, that's my excitement to see you guys back. We're gonna get into season 3, episode 10 and 11. So stay right there. We're gonna talk about the good place, the medium place, the bad place. We've seen it all within the last 2 episodes. Don't you move.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yay! We're back.
We did it.
Hey, we did it. We made it. We made it through, guys. With only 2 episodes left, well, including this one, and we're super excited about it. But as you can see, there's new faces. We're one new face. So my name is Sayrie, but also I have here
Lauren LoGrasso.
Woo.
Hey guys, I'm Meaghan Lynn. It's great to be here.
Nice. So, ladies, what did you guys think about episode 3 and 10? This is like a Thanksgiving meal. We're gonna fit it all in there today. Okay, like everything's gonna be squeezed in.
Let's get that cranberry sauce.
Woo!
I feel really good about it. Tonight really packed a punch. I think last week was a good transition episode, and hey, satisfied as hell.
Oh, okay. She's coming back for a second. No.
Yeah, we're talking about Thanksgiving. I'm kind of craving some IHOP pancakes after this past episode,
Nice.
even though you can't eat anything, might explode. Don't want to do that. But no, I'm really loving Chidi and Eleanor's relationship, and I'm kind of seeing them become more like each other in a good way. It's cute.
So you're for the Chidi and Eleanor
I am.
love,
I
right?
ship it.
Are some people not for it?
No, so far I don't think so. Maybe you guys can chime in the comments. Let us know what you think. But so far everyone's for it. Now, are you guys for Jason and Tahani? I'm sorry, Jason and Eleanor. I mean,
And
Jason
Janet?
and Janet. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the whole list. Jason
Maybe
and Michael.
Jason will just date everyone.
Yeah.
I'm good with it, but I do get worried because Tahani's going to be alone, and then what is she going to do? I mean, I guess she loves herself, but I don't think it's fair
That's
that
enough for
everybody
her.
else is partnering off, and she's alone.
Maybe she'll fall in love with one of Janet's new humans that she's creating, all 185 of them.
I think that's a good idea. Well, she failed when she created Derek, but we're gonna talk more about that in 311. But you're right. Maybe she can create her own love. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like ladies and men, if we could just create the perfect man, just snap it. Whew, I'll be busy on Fridays for sure. So we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about the Good Place mailroom. We're gonna get into talking about the IHOP, and then last we're gonna talk about the medium place. And then you guys stay tuned. We're gonna get into chalk it up to Chidi, get some news action with Meaghan, and then we're gonna give our predictions. So,
Pretty much.
whew, so here we go. So we meet Gwen, right? So we end up we leave off at episode 10. We meet Gwen, and she is adorable. Did you guys fall in love with her?
Love her.
I love her, yeah.
I saw her on the same actress on a baking show on Netflix, and I didn't really like her on the baking show, but I thought she did a great job on this show.
So
Just
she's
so
horrible.
likable, so warm.
She's the
Yeah.
polar opposite of a normal post office employee, too, because normally I go into the post office and I
Yeah.
feel like I've done everything wrong in the world. I
Yeah.
don't know how to function
They
here. I'm
want you
so
dead.
sorry for my very
Yeah.
existence in the post office.
Yeah. I thought she was great. I don't know if she was perfect because in the Good Place, you always have to be happy. Like, shoot off a million compliments. Your hair looks good. Your lips look good. Your shirt looks good. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the best place to be to, like, raise your self-esteem.
I feel great
Plus,
right now.
I think that about you guys, too. But
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I got to keep the hostess happy. Let me make sure I put the t in there. I'll keep the host happy. No, the host happy. We got to keep the hostess happy. So yeah, I love Gwen. I would love to see her more coming up in some of the future episodes. Obviously, everything, of course, just like in this show, has to go wrong. So we start off, Gwen is believing it because obviously in the Good Place, you assume everyone's good. So it's like they're telling the truth. She's believing everything they're saying. But then she walks in on them crying. She walks in on Jason crying and Janet, and she's like, wait, something's wrong. So at this point, what are you guys thinking was going to happen?
Oh, I knew they would get found out eventually, but I was just thinking, like, why is that a requirement of the Good Place? Would you want to be in a place where you couldn't express full human emotion?
Well, I don't
Why
think there
can't
should
you
be
cry?
sadness
But
there.
but sometimes
Maybe
you
happy
want to cry.
tears?
Exactly. Sometimes you want to cry happy tears. So are you not allowed to cry at all there? That's an interesting thing.
Well,
You should look that
I
up.
think neutral Janet was a real giveaway there because she's not supposed to have any feelings whatsoever.
Exactly.
So she should definitely not be crying or
Unless
feeling
she's going to poop them out.
love.
That's the thing, yeah. So, yeah. But, I totally agree. That is actually a good point. I want to say it's biblical that there's no tears in heaven? I don't know if you guys can. I think that's a theme.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
tears
I
in
know the
heaven.
song.
I mean,
She's
from
like,
like,
I don't know.
from like my understanding of the actual heaven,
Let's see.
Yeah.
you can't
I'm
be
Googling.
sad there.
Yeah,
Can people cry in heaven?
Maybe happy tears. I don't know if the Bible gets that specific, but
Yeah.
I feel like The Good Place gets very, very specific about the rules and regulations.
But I feel like this show sometimes parallel with the Bible and just different religions. I don't know if you guys take that too. But yeah, so she basically sees them crying and they're about to get kicked out. But before this happens, we basically see Michael. Are you still looking that up?
Yeah. I was deep in that Google search.
Did it come up?
Well, nothing that
Besides
looks
the song?
very legit. I mean,
Okay.
we'll have to hit that Old and New Testament later.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Pray for us. No, but Michael basically finds out about the point system. So he meets with the committee. And basically, he's thinking that at this point, the bad place is basically setting them up, right? They're messing with the point system, making everybody go to hell, basically, or the bad place. Sorry, but then he realizes it's not that the point system is just that time has progressed so much that everything you do has a negative effect. You know, what did you guys think about that?
It's interesting, and it's true that every good thing you do in life does have some sort of negative ripple. Even if you have the purest of intentions, there is always some opposite end of it. So it's interesting to see it in a way that's so mathematical and plotted out. But yeah, you never think that deeply into it, especially buying a tomato. I never would have thought about the impact.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, I think there's a good takeaway from that too, and the fact that I feel like there are a lot of like vegan jokes.
Hilarious.
Pointed towards people who are vegan, but I think for the most part they really are in that mindset of thinking, what is the reaction to this? And so they're buying organic and they're staying away from eating anything that was once living or a product of something that was living.
Yeah, I thought this whole little segment was brilliant. There was a situation where Doug buys a tomato. Gets flowers from his yard, plucks flowers, give it to his grandmother, and he got like 400 something plus points. And then Doug later on in the future buys his grandmother flowers, and except he loses 4 points. So then they figure out, well, he bought the flowers, but those flowers, had to be shipped, so that's like a bad carbon print. I got totally get into it. I was geeking out for a second. And somehow he figured out why it was negative points. Like, also in this episode too, they kind of touched on just buying clothes can make you a bad person. Basically, if you buy a shirt from like Forever 21 or something, and
It was made in a third world country in a
Yeah.
sweatshop. Yeah,
Then-
which is true. I mean,
that's crazy
they
to
should
think
put
about.
labels on everything. I know they say where it's made, but it'd be nice to know who it's made by too.
Yeah.
Like iPhones.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that one.
It's
I
just
love
the
my
human
iPhone.
condition, though, because we've already built up this world for thousands of years where those things exist, and we can fight against them as much as we can. But at the end of the day, we're bound to do things that are bad for the environment and that hurt other people.
Yeah,
Because we're
but
not perfect.
Even if you're doing your best, you are.
do you think it's our responsibility though to like consume something and then think where did it come from, or do you think that's just too much time that's just too much time management?
I think you definitely should consider it, but I don't think you should consider it to the point where you become Chidi and then are paralyzed from making a decision. And I think that's
true.
what he did. And that's also problematic because you end up hurting people around you because you can't be there for them because you constantly have to think about every decision you make. So I think there's a balance there.
Definitely a balance. I think the good thing for us is there is more information now than there ever was before. So we can more than ever know where our products are coming from if we do our due diligence. But honestly, I never thought about it in such a deep way until this show. And that's what makes the show so great is you have all these moral questions
crazy.
that come through your mind and make you reconsider your own life.
Would you reconsider now at this point, or?
Yeah, I mean, the vegetable thing is tough.
Yeah.
Like, I have thought about doing, have you ever heard of ugly produce? They take all the reject, ugly-looking fruits and vegetables, and then they deliver them right to your door.
Really?
So when we're having this discussion, I'm thinking about that because otherwise that food goes to waste.
Yeah.
And it's local, most of the time at least. And I think it's like an LA-based company that
Oh,
does
that's
it.
awesome. Yeah,
So-
buying local is
What is
always
it again?
good.
I think it's called ugly produce. I'll double check right now.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, though, you can't think too hard
Imperfect
about where
produce.
everything comes from. Imperfect produce.
You're
I'll
like
definitely
ugly
have to check
grapes,
that
ugly
out.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's cool. But you know what's not ugly, but it's just beautiful. And we have it all set up for you here at AfterBuzz. That was the same. I did the wink.
She didn't wink at me. She was supposed to wink at me so I knew
the wink.
to talk to you about this. So, hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We are asking you to please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. And by subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz TV continue to grow into a beautiful little flower. Aww. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be honey buns because they are optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. Shout out. You hear me? So for now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk.
Nice.
Yes.
Woo. I'm going to go unlike it so I can like it again. That sold me, man.
Yeah, you'll
That was
definitely
great.
get positive points for The Good Place if you subscribe to our channel and rate us.
Oh, way to tie it in. Megan.
That's great. Yeah, thank you. That was great. Yeah, so now at the end of this episode, we end up at IHOP, the International House of Pancakes. And they meet there. Well, in this actual show, though, it's an international. Help me out on this one. Is the house? Isn't it still the house?
Yeah,
of
there's
pancakes?
the pancakes.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Yeah.
making sure.
But the pancakes are not your average pancake. They're energetic pancakes.
Yeah, it's like the space between dimensions.
Yeah, and it's like a fifth, and he said the 10th dimension and all that craziness. But basically, that's the one place the judge cannot retire him. So they're all at the interdimensional. I'm not even gonna try to say that fast. They're all at IHOP, and basically they meet the judge. At this point, what are you guys feeling about the judge? You think she's gonna be super angry? What do you think?
Oh, Michael's already been giving her a hard time.
Yeah.
He's like that one kid who keeps begging his mom
Yes.
for another chance and can I do this and can I do that, and she's like fine, and then she gives a little bit and he takes a lot.
She's got a soft spot for him. Plus, I think she's
so.
just bored. I mean, she sits alone in that room all day. This is probably the best
know.
entertainment she's had in millions of years.
Yeah.
Literally, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I love her though. I love Maya Rudolph. So as soon as I saw they were going to meet the judge, I was like, yes. She's an amazing. I'm a huge fan. Amazing actress. But basically, they're at IHOP, and the whole episode is named Chidi See the Time-Knife. But although it only happened for 2 minutes, the whole episode is named after the time knife when he basically disappears in the dimensions or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I still don't really get it too much.
I think they
It's
named it that because it seemed like it was some sort of inside joke in the writer's room or something.
Possibly,
you know,
yeah.
It was that one moment when Chidi was like, "It was a horrifying image," and then Michael's like, "Yeah, I know, we've all seen it."
Yeah.
And it made me think about,
they,
I
nudge
said
each
this to you
other.
before, a time in your life when you've gone through something really traumatic or had a major life change. Everyone's like, yeah, so who cares?
Yeah.
It's like when you call your mom, Mom, I just started my new job and I parked in the wrong spot and I got a parking ticket and I spilled coffee on my shirt, and she's like, yeah, welcome to adulthood.
Hilarious. That's a badass day. That's everything going wrong. But anyway, so the episode is the Chidi Sees the Time-Knife. So here they end up going to the boardroom essentially, and they basically want to talk to the judge, and we basically tell her if you don't believe what we're saying about Earth, then try it out for yourself. And I wrote this down because I think this has been the only smart moment Jason's had all season, is when he tells a story about Big Noodle and how Big Noodle has the three mothers, like Willy Wonka, three grandparents sleeping together, and how basically once he found out that Big Noodle had a harder life, he kind of basically just gave him a little bit of a break. You know what I mean? So what did you guys think about the reasoning behind that? Like some people have it harder, just
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the food example when we're talking about, you're eating food that comes from farms or fast food where animals get treated poorly, et cetera, et cetera. Farmers aren't making enough money. The list goes on and on. But for a lot of people, while organic food is a better option ethically and it's healthier for you, they can't afford it. And that's often because of different factors such as cultural things, racial things, systematic oppression where people can't get jobs, can't get an education, can't make as much money to afford those things.
That's the college student, guys. That's the 21 speaking. That's the fresh in the university. She still
Yeah.
has that passion
She's
and
ready to
fire.
fight the man.
Yeah, fight the man.
It's funny. I just took a philosophy class called Ethics of Decision Making, and
God.
every theory we talk about there, it's literally like Chidi's brain. And so I started watching the show right after I finished that class, and it was just mind-blowing.
Wow.
It really makes you think about those things, though. And I feel like up until this point, the judge hasn't really considered that not everyone has it easy. And I really like when she makes the remark, I think she went down to Mexico when she went to Earth, and she was like, it turns out I'm black.
Yeah,
and they
that's
do
not a
not
good thing.
like
Yeah.
black ladies down there. And I think she's finally getting a taste of the things humans go through, because in the good place or the fake good place, they have a level playing field. So they all have an equal chance to like improve, and they already have all of the resources they need at hand, and they have each other. But a lot of people on Earth do not have that.
Yeah. I thought that was, this show always teaches you just levels of I feel like they blend a little bit of our society, and it's fictional, but at the same time, it's like very relatable, you know?
Definitely. I mean, it's just true. It is so hard just to be a human being, just to be alive, surviving, creating a life where you can support yourself and feed yourself and possibly your family. And I just love that they put this like higher being figure through that, because even she couldn't handle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she went to Denmark, Vietnam. She's like, the whole earth is crap. Like,
and
she's like, it's horrible.
I like that we get to see kind of like that racial lens of like why it's hard to be a human and the cultural aspects, but also through Chidi we see like the mental health aspects. Like people make a lot of fun of him, but he clearly suffers from intense anxiety, and that makes it harder too. And when we talk about how hard it is to be a human, like when you have depression and anxiety, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. And you cannot serve other people or benefit others, like to earn those positive points for the good place, if you can't live with yourself.
I've never thought of him having a mental disability. That makes sense a little bit, though.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
No, he's crippled by anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a little OCD as well.
He can't decide whether to buy the nice tomato or the ugly tomato.
Yeah.
And he'll be stuck in that store for hours.
Well, and I guess what we've learned through all this is that Chidi is right, but there are consequences to that indecision, too. Everything has a consequence.
Yeah.
This
All you can do is your best.
Yeah.
this
And
show
hit the
makes me
mic
think more.
sometimes.
Hit the mic. Hit the mic. And so, the judge comes back, and she's like, she's totally on their side at this point. She's like, we definitely need to do something about this. So they bring in the main demon, or one of the head honcho demons, Sean, and basically they come to a compromise. They're going to do yet another, not a reboot, but they're going to do another experiment.
Yeah.
So we see them all going back to, I don't even know what to call it, this place, the bad place adjacent.
Well, medium place is what they call it.
The medium place, yeah.
But I mean, what was the old bad place called? Like, it
The
was
old
called
bad place was called the
It was called
bad place, but the neighborhood that Michael made.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like it was
Like,
a fake
it's like
good place.
next to the next to it. So we get to go back to see Mindy and Derek. You know, were you guys happy to see Mindy again and Derek, those characters?
I love Mindy.
I love her
Derek
too.
stresses me out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just so stupid. Even when he's smarter, he's so
smarter
dumb.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
it didn't
arrogant.
help. Yeah.
He's been rebooted
He's just a
million
little
times.
grating. He's
Yeah.
grating. That's the
Yeah.
best way to put it. I did like when he tried to drink the olives, though.
Oh,
That was
idiot,
funny
yeah.
for his classy
And the-
martini.
Yeah.
And then he had a lemon in the other one. Just dumb.
But I wish we got to see more of Mindy, because she has such the actress who plays her has great comic timing.
Yeah.
And I just love how she's always talking about sex
No,
She's
absolutely.
and masturbating.
Yeah.
And she doesn't put up with any crap either. She's
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. And there were points in the last season earlier when they kept ending up at Mindy's during every reboot, and she's like, oh my God, okay, let me tell you what's going on, because I can't do this anymore.
Nice. And she's kind of behind the reason why Chidi and Eleanor gets together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she told her, like, hey, look at this. You guys got together in one of the million reboots.
Yeah,
Well,
she showed them
I
the
like
sex tape.
Yeah. She probably watched
Well,
it.
it was
to
like
put
the
us to sleep.
cuddle part.
Yeah.
The
The
post
after
cuddle.
part. Nice. And basically Janet, did you guys think it was weird that Jason seems a little jealous? Derek and Janet are now getting closer. And Jason, did you catch that? He was like,
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
he wants to compete with them.
I think it would be hard because he feels like, well, I can never be like them. I'm not a robot being. So I get the jealousy.
Yeah.
If you
And
saw
I
someone's
think-
ex with them, be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys thought it was kind of weird, but it just seems like all of a sudden he has these feelings. As soon as he found out that him and Janet, or Janet loves him, that he just feels like that towards Janet. Do you think that's because he's an idiot, or
because I think somewhere in his body he remembers it, and they did have a genuine chemistry as well.
I do like. Okay, so Janet and Jason, or Chidi and Eleanor.
Chidi and Eleanor.
Oh, that was quick. That was split second.
They're so cute, and I think they balance each other out so well. And I don't know, I guess like Jason's stupidity and Tahani's ego kind of balance each other out, but I feel like they're also a disaster waiting to happen all of the time.
Yeah. I agree with that one. I think.
What do you think about though, Jason and Janet? Because you spoke on Jason and Tahani. What do you think about them together?
I prefer Jason and Janet to Jason and Tahani. I feel like Tahani's real soulmate is yet to be found.
Or maybe it's just her.
It's her, yeah. Every time she looks in the mirror, that's her soulmate.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm so pretty. I can't do the British accent, but it's so beautiful.
No, I'm literally so surprised because when they get to the post office of the Good Place, they find out that the Good Place smells like whatever their favorite smell is. I'm surprised it wasn't just Tahani's like
her
perfume
hair,
or something.
Yeah. Just me in the morning.
What was it? It was something really funny, like some sort of fashion thing.
It was.
It smelled like someone's spring line or something like that.
Designing line. So I mean, it's so much going on. It's crazy. I can't wait to see what happens at this point. And we get the bomb dropped on us that if Michael does not succeed, he's going to be replaced with another Michael.
Bad Michael.
Vicky's going to be in there.
So what they said was if Michael does not succeed in converting these new humans to being good and getting to accelerate to the good place. And I don't know if that means he has to get all 4, right?
All 4. 4 for 4.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They have to get better.
So they're going to send our original 4, the original Fab 4, to hell, the bad place. And a Michael lookalike is going to torture them for all of eternity, which is actually Vicky, who we saw bunches of times throughout this series.
I feel like they needed to just take it up a notch. I think that was a little seasoning on it to be like, and just in case you guys are not listening, boom, there's another level to it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to get that far, but I guess we save that for predictions. But we're getting into our next section, which is Chalk It Up to Chidi. And there's no sound. I was waiting for the sound. Yeah, okay, all right. There wasn't much. He hasn't been really philosophizing. I don't know the word for it.
Philosophizing?
I don't think that's a word.
That's not a word? Okay.
Are you sure?
I
think it is.
Philosophizing.
Not sizing, but I think it's philosophizing.
Philosophizing. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Philosophizing for the last 2 episodes. But
interesting.
But last episode he did get into Leo Tolstoy, and basically he says that I don't want to butcher the quote, so I want to get it directly for you guys.
Did you study Tolstoy in your class?
Yeah,
Tolstoy?
We studied a bunch of different theories on how to make ethical decisions and different processes for that and the steps. And then we wrote a lot of papers about it and did fake scenarios. It was very interesting.
Did you like him, Tolstoy?
I liked there was like a basic ethical decision-making model where you consider like the pros and the cons. It was like very similar to what you do
like
without
surface.
Thinking about the steps, yeah.
Nice.
A holistic ethical analysis approach. Words are hard.
Yeah. I love the new edition of the college passion. Basically the quote they used was, "Remember then, there is only one time that is important now. It's the most important time because it's the only time we have any power." I thought that was deep. What did you guys think about it?
No, I love that because it reminds me of kind of bringing in the faith perspective, because this is kind of similar to like Christianity and a lot of other religions. My pastor at church said, don't let yourself be stuck in the past, because God's not there. Amen. He's here with you right now. So I think that's so true.
Pastor said, don't be stuck in the past.
But
it's the first part of his name.
No,
but it's true.
You're only able to like affect change the course of your life where you are right now in the moment.
Nice.
Well, yeah, the present is the only thing that matters, because I love the quote. I think it's from Lao Tzu. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. If you're living in the present, you're at peace. And it's true.
Yeah.
Now, who said that? You said
Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu. Oh my God, that's great.
TZU.
TCU. Oh man, I love that. And when they made the comment about the only thing you can worry about is now, that makes the best sense because like basically what you just summed up, you can't change the past, and basically you can't predict the future. So the only time you have power is this second, next second. Exactly.
And you won't enjoy the moment if you don't live in it and appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't actually ever really get to have an experience because you'll be thinking about experiences instead of just having them.
Yeah, I don't think you should try to be like original Doug and sacrifice all of your happiness and joy just to serve others, because I feel like that wasn't really good for him and he wasn't in a healthy mental state.
He was horrible.
And I think God wants us to have joy in our lives.
Absolutely, and God wants us to have connection. You know, Doug really alienated himself because he was trying so hard to not have a negative impact on others that he didn't have any impact at all.
Yeah, except on a few bugs here
On a
and
few
there.
bugs, which is great. But I feel like we're sent to Earth to connect and to love each other. And if we don't do that, then we're really not serving our purpose. And yeah, if you avoid it, yes, you'll hurt less people, but you'll also help less people.
Preach, girl, preach.
That was good. If you drive the car, you will have less gas, but you will be in the same place. No, okay.
If you don't drive the car.
I was trying to have a deep.
Okay. I was trying to
that was
fix
my
it.
best pitch at it.
That
Help
broke-
me out.
that
If
broke me.
You drove the car with gas. Okay. But yeah,
I'm gonna have a Chidi breakdown right now because of that.
I didn't mean to go so deep, guys. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna come back surface. But yeah, that was our chalk it up for Chidi. We so powerful. News, Meaghan. Would you?
Yeah, we're really talking about
we have one for news.
TV news.
We're talking about those deep issues and existential questions, and that's something that Chidi, the actor William Jackson Harper, is actually struggling with a lot. But it's also, this show's helped him a lot. So he did 2 interviews recently with season 3 coming back on air with E! News and with Vice, and he talked about how he never thought he would land the role as Chidi because he's darker skinned and he knew he'd be playing opposite Eleanor's character, and he didn't think culturally like an interracial relationship would work, but this show has done such a nice job of fostering that.
And it worked. We've all agreed that we like it.
I
we like the
love
combo.
them
We love it,
together. I
yeah.
think they're perfect. But I totally get that. You know, it's like even a few years ago, I don't think that would have happened. And I think it shows how much our world, even though lots of things are going wrong, for sure, there's a lot of bad stuff happening. I think it shows like how much the culture is changing and shifting and opening up to everyone, which is great.
And it's also not at the heart of the show, which is nice. They're not shoving in your face like, hey, here's an interracial relationship. Like, it just exists in the show because it exists in life.
Yeah.
Or afterlife, good place, medium place, wherever you're at.
Yeah, I mean, they've fallen in love with robots and everything in this show. Like, anybody can get love on this show.
No, there's no boundaries. And it's interesting, too.
Just get it where you get it.
He also spoke on how he has a lot of similarities with Chidi because he suffered with anxiety when it comes to making decisions, but he's taken a lot away kind of from the philosophy that he studied as Chidi's character, which I think is really cool that he's gotten something out of it. Because obviously with our conversation here, we're getting a lot out of it and really delving deep into that.
Mm-hmm. I think anybody who pretty much watches the show can get something out of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I think it's just a nice show. It's a nice show with great messages every single week. And it's funny.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
And when you think about what's going on in the world right now, you have to laugh. You have to find laughter and joy and a place to joke in some way or another. And the good place is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah. It's interesting that he said that, though. He came forward and said, you know, he just went straight into the racial part. Like, you know, I thought that was too dark-skinned. That's good for him.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. Well, that's our news for today. And we're going to get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz
So suspenseful.
predictions.
So I'll start with you, ladies. Who wants to jump at it first?
I predict that we will see some new main or at least supporting characters. I wonder how they're going to utilize, now that they're going to have 4 more new characters in the show that are in the forefront, how are they going to utilize the other 4? It's going to be really interesting. And I'm excited to see what types of people we get.
Mm-hmm. So far, they're mild. The guy just seems like he's a little troubled, but he looks like he could be interesting.
Oh, mild, you said?
Mild,
Yeah.
I think I see Jason and Janet getting back together, but I don't know if it's going to
Nice.
last because,
Really?
well, she's Janet and she's not really a person or a girl or anything at
Can
all.
they have sex? Like, is that defined? Because that's what concerns me, honestly, every
Didn't
time
they
I think
spend
about
like
it.
several months trying to figure out
Yeah.
how last season?
You would think she could,
can.
like, blink herself into having a vagina.
Well, Derek
If she
has
can make anything appear, why can't she blink a vagina into existence?
I think
That's
so
deep.
because Derek says that every time she did a reboot, he had more of a penis. So I think so. What would you need a penis for if you're not?
So
having
are we
sex?
going to start rebooting Janet?
Yeah, but he got a penis when he rebooted, so something grew out of him. We need something to, like, collapse into her.
Okay.
So we have to do the opposite
so
of a
weird.
reboot.
What do we need?
Oh man, I think I'm visualizing this
I know,
too
right?
much now.
But I don't know how we got there. But I
We really went there.
I predict that something will collapse in Janet. She'll be able to get laid eventually with Jason. That's the theme song.
That's a new
for it?
song.
It's a song.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah, predictions.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty much. Well, I'm still a little bit of your prediction. I think that Janet will make her perfect guy. I'm sorry. I think that Mindy will end up making her perfect guy.
Mindy will?
Wait, I'm missing some. Oh, Tahani. Wait, I'm still in your prediction, and I don't know.
Is
I don't remember.
Janet gonna make
Janet-
Tahani's new guy?
That
I think,
would
I
be
think
great.
they're gonna make her. They're gonna make no, Mindy. They're gonna make Mindy a new man.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
then why? Because Derek's going to be with Janet, you think?
No, I just think she just needs some fresh love.
Oh, fresh meat.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they're
people. I
perfect for
feel like
each
she's
other.
gonna
They're
end up-
both annoying.
Yeah.
And don't really have a lot of substance.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So, okay, what's the ranking? So we have Eleanor and Chidi up here. Then we have Jason, or do we have Mindy?
Are we talking about relationships?
Yeah, in the show.
Eleanor and Chidi are like way up in the
up there.
sky.
Absolute
But do you
goals.
guys like Mindy more or Jason? I'm sorry, Mindy more or Jason and Tahani, or Jason and Janet?
Oh, Jason and Janet are after Chidi for me, and then Tahani and herself, and then Mindy and Derek.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All cheers to that.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for The Good Place. We have one more episode left. The finale is coming up. Yay! I want to do drum roll.
Oh, I'm sad. I don't want it to end.
For
It's
The
so
Good
quick.
Place.
Yeah.
It went by super fast.
Over in a flash.
Yeah, and you also can catch me on Empire coming back in March here at AfterBuzz. But my name is Funny Sarai on Instagram and Twitter, FUNNYSAYRIE. And where can they find you guys?
I'm at Lauren LoGrasso on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join me.
And I am Megan Lynn TV on Instagram and Twitter. Come chat with me about the show.
Cool. And until then, until the finale next week, we wish you guys to be in the best place of your lives. See you guys later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.